I would like to invite Jimin, our evaluator, for one of the speakers to introduce yourself now, because later I won't be introducing you.
I'm Jimin. I'll be evaluating one of the speakers later on. I've been in Agora for about a year or so. My other duty I do is that I edit the videos. After it's all been taped, I try to make everyone look good, edit, and post it to YouTube. Unless you don't want me to put it. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimin. I have to tell you, everybody, Jimin has spent so much time for Agora just to make sure the video, even in live, when we have a meeting room, he will record all the speeches and upload it into the YouTube individually. And one of the day, he impressed us with a list of memes and topics that you can actually go into the Agora YouTube. Please, if you want to know more, Jimin, can you put into chat group that our Agora link, YouTube link? Then you can actually find us there and share the link with anybody that want to know some of our speeches. And
hello, how are you? My name is Carlson. You can see today I'm a timer for today. You can see the timer here. Okay, so watch out for my screen. So if you talk too long, I will show you my numbers. Okay. By profession, I'm also a wellness coach, and I also help people to lose weight and get their health back. Okay, and if you have any way to lose, you know who you look for us. Look for me and Jeff. All right. Okay. So back to you.
Thank you, Carlson.
Let me introduce today's MC. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce our master of the ceremony to you. Let us put all our hands together to introduce our master and our MC, Gwen Ling. Gwen Ling is an independent public relations professional who has been in the PR, the public relations field, in the last 20 years. If you are looking for someone to raise your personal profile or company profile in the media, Gwen is the person you can turn to. She also helps her clients to craft media articles for publication. A passionate believer in work-life balance, she leads a meaningful and fun-packed life with diverse activities such as yoga, art, traveling, and Toastmasters. Since 2011, Gwen has been an active Toastmaster and has clinched trophies in speech contests at various levels. She believes in lifelong learning and enjoys the art. Besides being effectively bilingual in English and Mandarin, she speaks French and plays the Chinese flute. Wow. So, all of us, please join me and welcome our host for this evening, Gwen Ling. Now it's over to you.
Thank you, Gustav, for your introduction. Good evening, friends, members of Agora Singapore, visitors from all over the world, including Malaysia, India, and America. I hope I have not missed out any country. In short, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now, a warm welcome to the Agora Singapore Speakers Club. I'm Gwen, and I'm your host for the evening. Now, as your host, my role is to manage this meeting to such that the meeting starts on time, ends on time, and that all items in the program are successfully carried out within the allotted time. Now, the time now is, well, we are running a little ahead of schedule. It's not really 6:30, but we'll carry on anyway. Now, this evening's program will once again be a very meaty one, packed with goodies, which include prepared speeches and special presentation, and also a few other items that will tickle your brain and make you think, and which will empower and enrich all of us. Now, just to quickly go through the program, we will soon have, after this, there will be the opening address by Shauna. This will be followed by a 30-minute segment on impromptu speeches and all of you will be invited to participate in the learning exercise. After the impromptu session, we will have a special presentation followed by 3 prepared speeches. Now for each of these 3 speeches, I will be inviting volunteers to evaluate and offer feedback. Now these volunteers have been pre-selected in the interest of saving time. So if you would like to participate next time, please let Casey and Ban Ping know in advance. Then after this, there'll be a 5-minute break, refreshment, toilet break at roughly around 8 p.m. And then at about 8, then we'll resume with the 2 more prepared speeches. And at about 8:50 p.m., we will have passed the test segment. And that one will test, you'll know more about it later from co-staff. Our meeting is scheduled to end around 9:30 after the closing address by our wonderful and energetic Rehana. Okay, before we move into the program proper, I'd like to acknowledge and introduce our few appointment holders without whom our online meeting would not be carried out so smoothly. Now, for those of you who may have just logged in, allow me to first introduce Kostaf Das, or we call him KD, right? Our etiquette and protocol rules master. Kostaf, can you wave your hand? Okay, good. Now, Kostaf, thank you. Kostaf wears different hats depending on the day of the week and the time of the day. Now, tonight he's doubling up as our first test master at the end of the program. He's closely associated with the Singapore startup ecosystem, and from a pole position, he experiences the exciting role our little red dot is playing on the world entrepreneurship map. He built a health technology startup after leaving his corporate career. Later, he guided a venture capital fund to grow their investment base in Asian startups. He has also advised more than 25 startups refining their digital product lineup and funding strategies. Now, in his free time, he engages with founders and budding entrepreneurs, brainstorming technological solutions to address their business challenges. Now, regardless of whether you are a technology evangelist or dinosaur, do reach out to Kostaf for an outside perspective if you're thinking of starting a business or scaling it up. So, Kostaf, thank you for your contribution for all our meetings. Our second appointment holder is William Lowe, our video conference director. Now, William is the president of Fuchun Toastmasters Club. He's very active in the Toastmasters movement. He's a visionary who is a pioneer for online Toastmasters Club meetings. And so, Willie, can we have you wave? Yeah, sorry, let me have you wave. Yeah, okay, thank you. Last but not least is Kausen Hong, our timekeeper for this evening. Where's Kausen? Can you wave, Kausen? Okay. Now, Kausen graduated from Singapore Polytechnic with a diploma in electronics and communications engineering. And he further honed his field support skills from the School of Hard Knocks. I like that. He enjoys solving problems and helping others find a solution. Now, his motto is, you will never try, you never know. So he's always getting a kick out of the hands-on experience by getting his hands dirty. Yeah. Now, he has been in global customer support team lead for more than 20 years and an advisor for a global service team for on-site support in USA, Taiwan, China, Malaysia, Japan, and Singapore. These days, currently, he is an international weight loss coach. Now, I could do some help on that. And he coaches clients to lose weight and gain back their health. Don't we all need that? And for those who need some health tips, please, by all means, contact him directly. Now, okay, having introduced the appointment holders, let's get back to the meeting proper. Now, the focus for tonight is back to basic. Now, what do I mean by that? It means that we shall focus our feedback on, or our attention on, whether the speaker has told us what he promised to tell us, number one. Number two, whether the content of the speech makes sense. Now, also, and number three, whether the body leads logically to the conclusion. Now, so ladies and gentlemen, as the audience, what role can we play to help Agora Speakers Club make a difference? I believe our role is to provide a nurturing and supportive environment. Now, how do we do that? We encourage the speakers by clapping our hands when the speakers are introduced, number one. Number two, clapping our hands when the speaker has finished speaking. And number three, smiling at the speakers and nodding our heads when we agree. Right, that's as simple as that, okay? So we shall now kick off the program proper. Finally, we get down to this with an opening address by Shauna George. Now, just a little bit on a timing allocation for this segment. It is 5 minutes. At the third minute, the green light will be flashed. Do we see the green light? Are we seeing the green light? Okay. At the fourth minute, yellow light. And at the fifth minute, red light. After 5 minutes, the speaker will have 30 seconds to wrap up, and there'll be an audio reminder as well. Just to let you may have heard from her just now, Shauna, but let me introduce her properly. Shauna is an accountant by training. Now, having grown up in India and now living in Singapore, she's very grateful for the many beautiful people and the many wonderful opportunities that she has come across here. She believes that nothing teaches better than one's own experience. And life is an experience of your own creation, she thinks. And Shauna likes to quote Mr. Gia, who once said, "The mission is the journey." And she likes to stretch herself, not physically always, but mentally and emotionally. And she's always ready for a challenge. So today, Shauna takes on a new challenge by doing the opening speech for the first time. So let us all give a warm welcome to Shauna.
Thank you very much, Gwen, for that introduction. Good morning, good evening to everyone. Welcome to the 10th online meeting of Agora Speakers International. It's really wonderful to see so many of you join us here today, from near and far. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to say a few words at the opening. Let me start by sharing something that Mr. Gay quotes often. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I would like to share the spirit of Agora with you today. For Agora, this journey started about 3 years ago in 2017. I attended the first meeting because of a friend of mine, Ivy. She has been with me even now, helping me with a lot of things. So when I came to Agora, I still remember that evening, Mr. Gay was sitting very casually. And so was there a lot more other people, including Casey, El Salim, Stanley Mark. And it was a very memorable evening because everyone spoke, everyone participated, and I enjoyed myself too, joining in. To tell you the truth, I did not know why I was there. Actually, it was one of the lowest points of my life. I had lost quite a bit of my confidence. I had lost job after job. And yet, I was lost and I did not know what to do. What happened the next day was nothing short of a miracle. Mr. Gay called me and asked me whether I would join him. It was a gesture that came out of his beautiful heart and really changed everything for me. It took many more sessions at Agora before I realized there's something else about me. So sometimes when I speak, I realize that I'm not so coherent. And sometimes the words don't flow so well. And at other times, it flows like a flood of water without pauses. But whatever it is, I still enjoy speaking and I still enjoy listening. So I was at Agora, and I thank you for all of you for all these opportunities that I'm getting here. Mr. Gay continues to encourage, inspire, and guide all of us here at Agora. At Agora here, we have so many people of every age and stage, from artists to writers to authors to students to housewives to members of different clubs to specialists in different fields. It had become a melting pot. So rich it had become. And it kept moving towards fulfilling its mission of helping people become the person that they want to be in order that they may live the life they dream of. Truly a beautiful vision. And I thank you for every one of you for being here and for being a part of this community. Truly, this is a community of friends helping friends to succeed. There is an African saying that says, if you want to go fast, walk alone. If you want to go far, walk together. So let us walk together in this journey of hope by encouraging each other, by supporting, by sharing, by participating. And for that, we only need to be ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shauna, for your heartwarming and inspiring speech. I can see that you really spoke from the heart. Our first segment for today's program is impromptu speaking. And the time allowed for this segment is 30 minutes. Now, at 20 minutes, the green light will be flashed. At 25 minutes, yellow light. And at 30 minutes, the red light. And the session has to end within in the next 30 seconds. So at 30 minutes, 30 seconds, the audio device will sound and the session has to end immediately. Let me now introduce the impromptu speech master. Now tonight's impromptu speaking session will be conducted by Mary Tan. Mary had been in the building industries for 35 years. Her passion for building materials earned her associate degree and excellence in sales to Changi Airport, Singapore, while they were building Terminal 1, 2, and 3. Now, she has been traveling extensively for her work, especially to Italy, for procurement and other parts of Europe and China. Now, Mary loves organizing events, and she's able to bring her massive network of business partners and friends to come together, and thus creating that trust with each other to collaborate in different projects. Now, Mary currently is learning new skills, just like me, such as acrylic art. I'm also doing that, terrariums, and even baking. Now, after attending Agora for about a year now, she's taking that leap forward to make her first public announcements. Right, let us now all invite Mary to conduct this impromptu speaking session. Let's give her a big hand.
Thank you, Gwen, for the introduction. It was amazing. It really speaks very well. Good evening, everyone from Agora Speakers Club. Today, we have reached the most exciting segment, that is impromptu speaking. Now, what is the objectives? The objective of impromptu speaking is to present your view on the topic without prior preparation in a manner that will make your audience remember your message. For example, if you are in network event talking to a prospect, do you have to prepare your speech? Or you meet your client on the street, will you talk to him using your prepared speech? So that is why this is the purpose of impromptu speeches. Nevertheless, there is a time limit given for everyone in impromptu speeches. For every speaker, there will be given 2 minutes. At 1 minute, the timer will turn green. At 1.5 minutes, the timer will turn yellow. On the second minute, the timer will turn red. At that point, the speakers will have 30 seconds to round up. Finally, on the 2.5 minutes, we mute the speakers if you have not finished your speech. Now, there are 4 steps to guide for your impromptu speeches. Step 1 is state your opinion on the topic. Do you agree with the statement or do you disagree? Step number 2, explain the reason why you agree or disagree. Step number 3, provide an examples to support your stand. Step number 4 is to conclude by summarizing steps 1, 2, 3 in conclusion. So does everyone understand the step of impromptu speeches? In order to better facilitate the process, I will show everyone the first list of the questions and open for anyone to volunteer. After we have a few speakers have spoken for the first list already, then I'll proceed to the second list. So in order to start the session, does anyone wishes to start the ball rolling? Money buy happiness or not? Is it okay for you?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Money can get you a Rolls Royce or Ferrari. Money let you eat at a fine restaurant. Money allow you to buy a penthouse or a GCB, good class bungalow. Money can allow you to travel to a lot of places. But what money cannot buy is love. The deep joy that within a person. A lot of people have all these things, all this material thing. And I'm surely some of you would know there are even film stars, celebrity, they have all this. And they commit suicide. So what do you think? Do you think money can give you everything? No. The key thing, maybe most important before having money, is to have wisdom. That means the wisdom to use your money, the wisdom to apply yourself, the wisdom to do the right thing. Because if not, you might find that you may have a lot of money, and like they say, I'm sure you heard before, many lottery prize winner, they win their lottery, 2-3 years it's gone. Do they know how to handle money? If you don't have wisdom, you will actually have nothing. Yeah, you have money to spend. So what, a Rolls Royce? So what, a Ferrari? Yeah, those are important. But there's always a question of priority. And so we must learn to appreciate priority. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence. That speech was awesome. Batman is better than Superman.
I was thinking about this question, and as a kid, I remember growing up and watching Superman. He's able to leap tall buildings and outrun locomotives. He has his nice colors, the blue and the red with the yellow. And I was always fascinated by Superman because of all these abilities that he has. What would it be like to soar through the air and fly past buildings? And I also grew up watching Batman with all of his gadgets, his ropes, and how he would climb up walls with his rope, and he had his partner Robin and the Batmobile. So these characters had different abilities that were intriguing to me. But the thing is Superman, he had a weakness if he came across kryptonite. Batman, I don't know of any real weakness except that he was not as powerful as Superman. So let me answer this question by saying, in the world that we live in, I grew up around people who wanted to outdo one or another. This one is better than that one. That one is better than this one. But the truth is that all of us are unique in our own way, and we bring a different ability to any situation that we encounter. I'm going to go back to a statement that really spoke to me, and it was a great statement by our friend Shauna. If you want to go fast, you can walk alone. Thank you, Shauna. And if you want to go far, you can walk together. I don't agree that Batman or Superman is better than one or the other. I agree that together they can go further, sort of like how we're doing here in this meeting. So who's better than the other? It all depends on the situation we're dealing with, but the real answer is we're all better together. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Albert. That was a wonderful speech you had. Hi, Selena.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to volunteer for that subject. Do things happen for a reason?
Okay, thank you.
COVID-19, everybody was worried that because of the lockdown, because of the circuit breakers, everything slows down. Life has been difficult. Life has been a challenge. I beg to differ. We only have this lockdown for about a month and a half. But is there anything you can do beside it? If this CB breaker lasts longer than more than what is it now, what is going to happen to our life after that? I'm glad this is a good awakening call for all of us, and everything happened for a good reason. Firstly, we have to take the opportunity to upgrade ourselves. I'm thankful that in this circuit breaker, I get to learn a lot of new things that I never dreamed of doing it. One of them is online. Instead of staying at home doing nothing, I can start doing online classes. I can start meeting friends online and learn a lot of new technology. I learned a lot of new way of getting myself ready for a lot of things, embracing myself for a lot of new changes. So do things happen for a reason? Yes, it's up to us. It's the mindset. You think that everything happened has gone wrong and your mindset is towards the negative side, everything will just go all the way down. And it's quite difficult for you. Many a days I go up to marketing, I see a long queue of taxi stands. There's a lot of taxi queuing up, waiting to pick up passengers. And the taxi driver, which I took a cab recently to my office, he said, I waited 2 hours to pick up you, the first passenger. And I was thinking, why would you want to spend 2 hours waiting for a passenger who only pay you $10 to go to my destination? Why would you not spend the 2 hours to spend time with family? Or maybe take these 2 hours to do something. And I'm quite happy that our government is quite generous. They've been sponsoring people. If you attend courses, you can actually claim for hours. There's a lot of things you can do. You just have to look beyond you and do not restrict and do not cry over this period. So I say brave on and do the best. Everything happened for a good reason. It's up to you to decipher the good reason is for you to move on or for you to take a back. Thank you.
Thank you, Shalina. That was a wonderful speech. Now we go to the fourth person.
Casey will go.
Casey, okay.
I want to say, can we judge a book by its cover?
All right. Thank you, Casey.
Okay, ready, I go. Hello, Agora friends. My name is Casey. The what we're going to discuss now is, can we judge a book by its cover? I say, yes. I'm a designer by training. I have a degree in design. If you do not judge a book by its cover, I will go out of job. So definitely, you have to judge a book by its cover. Then I will have a lot of work to do. Then I will have big houses. It is because of this statement that people think otherwise. Designers like me are suffering. We don't have enough work to design. So please, from today onward, I want to hear from you. You must judge a book by its cover. Come on, let me hear that. We must judge a book by its
Cover.
Yes, thank you very much, Agora and friends. Thank you. Back to you, Mary.
Timer's report, 1 minute.
1 minute? Okay.
Judging a book by its cover. I do
Yeah.
not agree at all. Just because actually I go to a place, in a meeting place with a very kind of, foreign accent. My facial gestures are different from the others. People might be just closing the door thinking, oh my God, this guy, what he's going to do. And this is something subconsciously all the time, all the people, all of us are doing. We just judge the person by his facial gestures, be his color, be his religion. This is totally improper. Should not be done. You should first engage the person, have a conversation, maybe intellectually have a conversation for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, if it actually, and then only you can judge. So saying that you can judge a person or judge a book by its cover, this is the most foolish thing a person is going to do. So I do not agree, Casey, with all the due respect.
Thank you, Katie. That was wonderful. It's a debate for both of them. It's wonderful. Yeah, what's the timer's report for Costa?
1
for
minute.
Katie? 1 minute.
1 minute.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I want to take on vision without action is a daydream.
Okay.
You agree? I agree. Very much agree. Vision. Imagine that we have a vision for tomorrow. We think that I have a vision for tomorrow, but not today, No action. How to realize that, right? Imagine. Most people during festive season, what do they like to do? I wish you to get good health, right? I even like to wish myself to get good health. A wish is just a wish. It's like a vision. I have that. Okay. If I'm big, I want that. Okay. However, if you don't do anything, will that happen? It won't, right? So action is very, very important. During festive season, what I wish people? I never wish people to have good health, because I'll add a few more modes in between. I wish you to take actions to get good health. I'll add the middle part, because wishes will never come true unless you do something about it. Even if you want to get a big bounty, harvest called the 4D or the lottery, what do? You cannot just wish for 4 numbers. You also got to go and join the queue, right? There's a first action and lay your stake and hopefully have some chance. If not, nothing will happen, right? That's why it's not just daydreaming. I want to get that. I want to be this. I want to be that, right? It's all a vision. In fact, if you think too much with action, it's not just a daydream. It will even become a nightmare, because your friends who have the vision, taking some actions, they got it. They got some results. They learn from the failures, they do something, they got some results. How about you? You look at them with envy. You are still stuck where you always be, right? So everybody, don't just have a vision. Act on it. Do something. Everybody can do it. Just stay faith, believe, and do. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeffrey. That was an awesome speech, and we learned a lot from you for dieting, in case, and exercise from you. Which topic do you want to pick?
The road to mediocrity is paved
Okay.
with good intentions.
Okay, thank you.
I've experienced during this circuit breaker season how many friends have come out to say we must pivot, we must make some changes. They come up with good intentions, good purposes, repurposing themselves from the former world of face-to-face to the new world where we have to meet in a virtual sense. Yet, I do find that when they are called to relearn, rethink, and build new skills, they find plenty of excuses. The intentions, plenty of them say, yes, we want to change, but the reality is that it doesn't meet. They have reasons not to attend online sessions, they have reasons not to read books, and they just fall back into the mud of self-pity without trying to extract themselves from the quicksand and moving forward into the post-circuit breaker world. That is what I find very sad. So they stay in mediocrity even though they have good intentions. It must be accompanied by action. And sad, many of them, good intentions, no action. Back to you, Mary.
Thank you, Jonathan. That was a wonderful speech.
2 minutes, 10 seconds. Sorry, 2 minutes, 10 seconds.
Hi, Randy, are you there?
Do we have the right to judge others before knowing them?
Okay, sure. Go on.
Okay. I would say that, we do not have the right to judge others before knowing them. One thing is for sure, everybody have their own baggages, and there's a lot that we need to handle day to day. So how can we judge others even though judging is something that we do every day? Something that we need to reflect on is, if we judge others, others are also judging us. So if we start to stop all this judging, the world will be a better place. And that's why in my work at Sing Flow, we get people to sing and flow as part of nature and be part of a whole community where there's no judgment. We look into how do we respect each other? How do we really listen to each other, speak our truth, and respect? And that is something that I want to convey, that the world will be a better place when there's less judgment. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. That was a wonderful speech. One more. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of impromptu speeches. Thank you so much for your participation. You guys have been such a wonderful speakers and audience. Thank you once again, and back to the MC, please.
Once again, thank you, Mary, for conducting this impromptu speaking session and making it so vibrant with your good choice of questions. So can we have the timer's report for that segment?
24 minutes.
Okay, thank you. So it was well managed time-wise. Now we'd like to invite our Christoph Das, KD, to introduce the timekeeping announcement. Time allotted is 5 minutes. Over to you, Christoph.
Thank you, Gwen. So this is the second time I'm coming, so please bear with me. This announcement is a very important announcement, and this is about the integrity of our time. Together, we want to make sure that we will be successful, not only just in Agora's meeting, but most importantly, outside Agora. While speakers are responsible for their homework in terms of speaking within the allotted time is concerned, we invite you to make mistakes without any fear and give us the opportunity to correct yourself at this safe environment of Agora. This will help us not to commit the same mistake outside. Do not worry, there are not so much of expectations, we are going to support you. So we have put forth 3 processes so that all the speakers are trained to manage and honor not only their time, but also everyone's time. The first step, may I request all the speakers, especially the 3 great speakers who will be speaking as a prepared text, namely Jeffrey, Quilin, and Lawrence. Please pin the timekeeper screen on your screen now so that time is always in your view. This will help you also to moderate your speed, keeping in view of the time allotted and the time consumed. But in case any of you are sharing screen, just like the way Mary was doing in the earlier impromptu session, please keep your own stopwatch in front of you, as you will not be able to view the timer screen on your screen. Second step, our timer, Carlson, will change the color of the screen so that the speaker intuitively knows how much time is consumed and how much time is left. To give an example, our speakers for the prepared speech segment have been allotted 7 minutes. At the end of 5 minutes, Carlson will flash the green card with the timer in white font. At the end of 6 minutes, yellow card will be flashed to indicate time is running out. At the end of 7 minutes, red card will be flashed to convey that your time is about to end. Time to wrap up in 30 seconds grace time. As a third step, today we are also introducing a buzzer to alert the speaker. However, the buzzer will play only at 2 occasions. At 7 minutes, you will hear the frog croak indicating that you have to finish up the speech in 30 seconds. End of 7 minutes, 30 seconds, you will hear the audience clapping. This is a sure short indication that you will have to need to stop now. And the runway is over. Thank you for listening to me. Now let me pass the baton to our wonderful MC for the evening, Gwen. Gwen, over to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wait, let me give you. Thank you, Christoph, for your good guidance on the timing sequence and how we should adhere to the allotted time in order to ensure that everything goes smoothly. Thank you for that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is what we call one of the highlights of a program, the special presentation. Now, tonight's special presentation will be conducted by Samantha Kwang. A little bit of background on her. Samantha works in the Gardens by the Bay, which is one of my favorite places in Singapore. I don't know about you, but it's mine. Her motto is, the only victory one should win is over oneself, and that one must always do better today than yesterday. In other words, it's continuous self-improvement. According to her, according to her, impromptu speeches and small talks are her weakest link. And she would like to take this opportunity to remind, revise, and relearn the ways to spice up conversations. Now, just a little bit of guidance on the timing sequence. Time allowed for this special presentation is 15 minutes. At the 10th minute, the green light will be flashed. Okay, and at the 14th minute, the yellow light will be flashed. And at the 15th minute, the red light will be flashed. At 15 minutes, 30 seconds, the sound buzzer will be sounded and the speaker would have to end her speech. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now welcome Samantha Kwang, who will share with us her thoughts on the topic, evaluate to motivate. Over to you, Samantha.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Agora. Today I'm going to tell you about, I'm going to touch on how could we evaluate and motivate at the same time. Many of you, have you ever come across that you try to evaluate a very superb speaker, but you couldn't find the area of improvement. Have you come across this before? Or you have a very lousy speaker, but you just feel very bad to give your comment. How do we not to hurt them? So today I'm going to share with you this session is to how to evaluate effectively and how do we motivate the speaker. First of all, why do we have to evaluate? Because we have to give an immediate feedback to the speaker. And we have to let them know what is the area of improvement. And of course, they must have something to bring back. They must have some area of improvement to bring back. Can you hear me? Hello,
Yes.
can you hear?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Right. And by evaluating the speaker, we also improve in our listening skill. So we actually learn to improve our speaking skill as well. And most importantly, the speaker must be able to promote their self-esteem, to improve on themselves and how they do better in the next speeches, so that to motivate them to speak again. So evaluation is very important. You have to choose your word wisely. Do you think evaluation is criticism? Do you agree? Raise your hand if you agree. No, it's all nonsense. Evaluation is not criticism. Evaluation is to motivate the speaker. Now, during the speech, we have to choose the word carefully. We use the words carefully. Always use positive words. And we have to show our interest to the speaker. We have to make sure that put ourselves into the speaker's shoes. Make sure that we don't embarrass the speaker. And the most important, when you are listening, you take down notes so that you can plan your speech later on. So how do we evaluate a speaker? Based on 2 E's. How do we give our commendation to the speaker? 2 E's. First E, give evidence. Show them what is good about their speech. We don't whitewash the speaker. Don't tell them, oh, your speech is good, your language is good, but what is good? Tell them specifically what are they good in, which part they are good in. Like they make use of good metaphor. The fish swim in the water or swim in the ocean. Or they have fantastic body language. They make full use of the stage. So you must be specific with your evidence. Give example, what they have done well. Then you have to give the emotion part. Show how you feel about the speeches. I can feel you. I'm touched by the speech. It appears to me this and this. Now come to the recommendation part, also based on 2 E's. First E, give example. Show them what have gone wrong with their speech. Suggest the changes. Tell them what are the useful techniques. There was one time I evaluated a speaker. They talk about to keep Singapore clean. So he acted out. He said the passenger spit on the floor. So she showed the way she spit on the floor. Now that is a good way, but if you want to help the speaker to improve, then it will be better to say to suggest. Perhaps you have to act it out like that is body language. And we also have to give words of encouragement. When you are evaluating, you have to base on your evaluation, not your audience evaluation. you should use I suggest, I think, and not you should not do this, you should not do that, you must not do this. It's your opinion. It's solely based on your own opinion, not the audience opinion. So you have to use I instead of you. So the choice of word used is very important. Never use you should not. It's always, you is always a no-no. Always use suggest, I suggest. So things like, well, you should not put your hands in your pocket. That's wrong. Copy, you should say, I would suggest you have an open gesture. Words like, you should not stand in front of the projector. It'll be better you say that, I would suggest you stand on the right side of the projector so that the audience can look at you as well as the slide. So how do we do evaluation? There are 3 methods of doing evaluation. The very commonly method is the hamburger method. The hamburger method, first, the hamburger, our speeches, including evaluation, is we have an opening of speech, the body, and the conclusion. So first, the hamburger method. You talk about the opening of speech. You give some credit to the speaker, what they are good at. So you sprinkle some sesame to beautify your evaluation. Then the most important thing is the body, area of improvement. Make sure the speaker have something to bring home, some improvement to bring home. Then after you finish your area of improvement, you wrap it up with a conclusion. Then you form a big Mac, a big burger. Second method is you can do commendation and recommendation. Tell them what they are good at, give the commendation, what they are good at, and what is the area of improvement for your recommendation. Then you finish up with your conclusion. The third method is a questions and answer. This is a higher level of evaluation. Probably you ask the audience and ask the speaker, what do you think about the speaker's speech, what they are good at? Then you give the answer as well. Now, all speeches, whether it's a prepared speech or evaluation, they are the same. First, you analyze what is the speech about. Then you organize your evaluation and you deliver. We always tell people you have to think out of the box, but for evaluation, we have to think out of the circus. First, you evaluate on the objective of the speech, whether it suits the audience, what is the purpose of the speech. Then talk about the delivery, the structure, the content. And of course, the body language, vocal variety, eye contact. And if the speakers speak so well and the speech are so well drafted, what else to comment on? Think out of the circus. There are some small gesture, props, the way they stand, how they look, the way they dress. There's definitely something that you will see difference and you can improve on. So I hope this session will help you to reframe your thinking on evaluation. Try to re-evaluate. We help the speaker to improve on their speech. There must be something for him to bring home. And we have to give positive evaluation so that he will have the courage and confidence to speak more. And furthermore, by evaluating, we help us to improve on our evaluation and listening skill as well as our speaking skill. So let us learn, unlearn, and relearn together. Now, the last slide is very important. Please prepare your pen and your pencil, and as well as your paper, take down the notes. How could we evaluate effectively? We just have to keep on evaluating, and evaluate again. The more we evaluate, the better we are. even when we listen to minister's speech, we have to, you can do your evaluation as well. Anybody's speech, your CEO speech, anybody in Agora or whoever, just evaluate and keep evaluating. Back to you, MC. Gwen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Samantha, for that very insightful presentation, which is chock-a-block with invaluable tips on how to evaluate effectively. Now, let's have a timer's report. It was how long? 10 minutes, 37. Thank you very much thank you very much to Carlson. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will now move on to the prepared speeches section. This segment is very interesting because each prepared speech will be evaluated by two persons immediately after the speech. But what should the evaluators look out for? You may wonder. First, let me go through what the evaluators need to do. Evaluator number one will address these questions. What did the speaker want? Number one. Two, what did the speaker get or achieve? Three, did the speaker achieve what he set out to do? And four, what advice would you like to share with the speaker? So that's for evaluator one. All this will be in the chat. The evaluator notes will be in the chat. What about evaluator number two? Evaluator number two shall address these questions. How much time did the speaker spend on the opening? How much time did he spend on each segment of the body? And third, how much time did he spend on the conclusion? And fourth, what advice would you like to share with the speaker? Now, all these evaluator guidelines will be found in the chat, I believe. Is that right, KC or whoever?
Yes, already in the chat. Thank you, Gwen.
Yes, thanks. So evaluators, please take note, and as well as the audience. Okay, great. Now we can't wait to hear from the first speaker, who is none other than. Is there an echo? Is there echo?
No echo now.
Okay, thank you. Our first speaker is Jeffrey Louis, if I pronounce your surname correctly. Let me just introduce him. Jeffrey is a full-time wellness coach who owns a fitness studio and runs 25 outdoor fitness clubs island-wide. During this COVID-19 period, he has innovatively shifted all engagements and activities online. Clever him. Now, the key focus of his business is to help people lose weight, stay healthy, be happy, and be youngified. That's a newly minted term by him. Now, Jeffrey lost 18 kilograms in 4 months. That to me is quite serious. And maintained the weight for 6 years. What a feat. And without abstaining from his favorite foods. You wonder how. He is 52 years old and yet looks and feels like 30. I added that for him. He has transformed hundreds of people who want to be like him. And now he's aiming to help the next 1,000 people to do that. Now, before he donned the hat of a wellness coach in the last 6 years, he worked for the Singapore Ministry of Education for 15 years. He has played several roles in MOE, from a primary school teacher, a teacher trainer, an education research specialist, to a senior education officer involved in reforms. Now, he has 2 education-related master's degrees from NTU. Tremendous credentials indeed. Now, the teaching blood runs so strongly in him that he always takes on the teacher stance in his weight loss coaching business. So he says, right, now, before we introduce him, let's go into the timing. Actually, the timing is 7 minutes as announced by Costaff later, and It's 5, 6, 7 for green, yellow, and red light consecutive, respectively. And at 7 minutes, 30 seconds, there will be an audio device. Now, why did the topic that he's choosing, let me introduce it a little bit. We often hear from many people that they want to lose weight since either the beginning of this year, when they make their resolutions, or was it last year, or was it years ago? Yes, I want to lose weight. It's always on people's lips and on top of your mind, you know, top of mind consciousness. But many people fail. Jeffrey will delight us with his discovery of the key reason on why people fail, and will share with us an effective and yet affordable, that's an operative term, affordable solution. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Jeffrey to speak to us on the topic, weight loss coach. Yes, you need one.
All right, thank you, everybody. Good evening, Agora. I am a weight loss coach, but seriously, who needs one? People know they need to lose weight, want to lose weight. Some for medical reasons, some for vanity, and for some others, they just don't like the buttons on their shirts doing social distancing this time, right? But they know what to do. Exercise, dieting, consult with a dietitian, engage a personal trainer, go to swimming centers. Even if they have really no idea, they can ask Google, ask YouTube, ask their friends, who really needs me? Yet, after a few months, their weight remains the same. For some, the weight even increased. They really need me. How am I the better solution for them? Because I have the 3 golden C's. Okay? Right. So what are the 3 golden C's? The first one, credibility. The coach must be credible. The method must be credible too. Definitely, you want to learn from successful people who have been on the same journey before, right? So that you know you will get results when you follow what he did. How am I credible? There you are. I lost 18 kg over 4 months, maintained that for 6 years. Here, I lead by example. I have to walk the talk and show that my method works and practice work on myself. Not just to lose the weight, but to lose healthily, lose the right weight in terms of lower your body fat, increase your muscle mass with radiant health, and able to sustain that over time, and with a lifestyle that do not need to abstain from some of your favorite food. You definitely won't want a method that says you cannot eat noodles, pizza, and curry puff all your life, right? Next, the credibility of the method cannot just work on me. It must work on many other people too, and many millions more around the world. Okay? Very importantly, the method must be science substantiated. In fact, the method is time-tested through 40 years and is totally supported by a team of top world-class doctors, researchers, nutritionists, dietitians. And for me, I will coach you to leverage the low-calorie, nutrient-dense meals that they have developed, coupled with their nutrition advice to complement your lifestyle. Okay, and that will also makes you how to eat other food, such that you still enjoy your life. Okay, I'll teach you how to eat in moderation with results. Many people eat in moderation with no results, and to eat smart and without the need, okay, to give up your usual food, yet lose the weight at the same time. Does that sound good? The next C is for care. For my clients, I care for them. Okay, I really, really care for them. I'm their personal confidant and friend. If you go to doctor, nutritionist, dietitian, personal trainers, the TCM acupuncture, slimming centers, their care will be limited to the time you spend with them at the scheduled appointment. For me, I am 24/7 accessible. I'm just a WhatsApp text or phone call away. No charges. You can ask me questions regarding meal preparation, meal plans, health tips. You can share with me your joy as well as your challenges. can expect me to radiate positive vibes, actively encouraging you along. I'll show the healthy meals that I eat. Okay. I also will show you the unhealthy meals that I eat so that you know I get my indulgence. You know that I'm human too. I'll teach you how to manage the indulgence. The care extended by me alone is never enough. We all know your success is determined by the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. Your immediate circle will be your husband, your wife, your family, your friends. What I know from most of our clients is that they cannot depend on them for their weight loss. They don't provide sustained, effective support. Your colleagues or close friends, more likely when you gather together, will be for what? Joyful happy hour, supper, okay, to distress or do some catching up with each other, and together grow a happy belly. Okay? Me, I will connect you to a community of not 5, nor 10, but hundreds and even thousands of people. Everyone in this community is highly motivated and very focused to achieve good health. You'll be immersed in this caring environment and conscious environment where you get inspired by other people. When you lose your weight, be it 10 kg, 1 kg, or even a minuscule 200 grams, the whole community celebrates with you. Before you know it, they turn into months. You will enjoy each and every other step along the way. Suddenly, you discover that you have to change your whole wardrobe. Nice. Okay, and the next part. If the program sounds very attractive in many aspects, the last hurdle will be the cost, right? Okay. If you go to slimming centers, $5,000. You want your solution to cost you an arm or a leg, you think very hard on whether the program is worth it or not, right? Okay. How about a private doctor weight loss consultation? $80 per session. How many sessions do you want to go? And that's aside from the treatment, they're still charging you, right? The personal trainer, $80 per hour. You probably need about 8 sessions per month, twice a week. Okay. A gym subscription, $100. Okay. Active SG could even be free, but no food included, no support, no coaching, daily 24/7 included. My cost of the program, how much you pay for me at the food court? About $6, right? How about that? For the same $6, you have 24/7 access to me for personal coaching and care, plus also you get healthy meal too. Really, be cost effective enough? There's more. I give you exercise, complimentary, unlimited per month. I give you education also, free. Come in every day. We learn something, okay? All right, and then you learn how to, in bite-sized form, get some info, how to make a wiser choice. How about making a smoothie? We teach how to make delicious ones also, okay? At the end, it is, we all know, lose weight challenging. Imagine, just by diverting the expense of $6, it can transform your life. The 3C does work, okay? Right, and there's no 4C. The 4C is called contract, which means you can stop the program anytime without any penalty. So besides the weight, you really have nothing to lose. Your results is my focus, okay? So what will you be waiting for? If you're interested, contact me or just check me out on LinkedIn, search for me. All my qualifications are there. Contact me. Thank you very, very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey, for your almost irresistible offer, proposal. Anyone's gonna take up his offer soon? All right, anyway, thank you. Can we have the timers report on, 7 minutes 58. Thank you, Kelson. Ladies and gentlemen, now I shall invite the evaluators to provide feedback on Jeffrey's speech. Now the time allowed for each volunteer evaluator is 3 minutes. At 1 minute, first minute is green light, second minute, yellow, and the third, red, the red signal. Now the audio device will sound at 30 minutes, 30 seconds. Volunteer and the evaluator has to complete his feedback. Okay, I shall now invite our first evaluator, Mary Soon, to give feedback on Jeffrey's speech. Over to you, Mary, please.
Jeffrey, I am very, very happy to be chosen to evaluate you because you are the very person I need. I don't know why Casey asked me to evaluate you. I think he realizes that I need to lose weight. And so it is the right time and the right place and the right person to evaluate you. So in terms of what you want us to lose weight. And that is because you care for us and you are credible, as well as the cost is affordable. I think you have done the trick. So perhaps after I think it over for 1 or 2 days or maybe a week, I might sign up for you. And so maybe I might be able to lose 18 kg in not 4 months, perhaps for me, 8 months, because the older you are, the harder it is to lose weight. So the second question is, what did you achieve? You achieved by telling us that you are credible and you care because we can call on you 24/7, 365. And perhaps I'm going to test it out tonight at 2 a.m. I might call you. Well, it's just a joke, all right. The third one is that cost is very affordable. The third question, I think, is almost the same as question 1. Is there any advice I need to give? First of all, I think you have given a really, really good presentation. I had some problems listening to you, not because of you, but there was a very bad or poor connection in my house. So there were moments when I lost you. But on the whole, you presented very well. You were animated. Your facial language was very good. But I might have, I think under the advice, these are the 2 advice I would like to give you. Number 1, the nutritionists that you showed us, they were all Westerners, but we are Asians, so you might want to include 1 or 2 Asians. Secondly, you might want to use some hand language, hand movements, so that it is much better, yeah, for us to so it's not more animated. So on the whole, you have achieved your purpose, and I would love to listen to you more and perhaps sign up as well. So you just take care of the language and take care of who you feature for your nutritionist. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Soon. Wow, I didn't know you're going to be a potential customer, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Well done. And Jeffrey, kudos to you too. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I like now to invite our second evaluator, Jimmy, to provide feedback on Jeffrey's speech. Over to you, Jimmy.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Jeffrey, for giving your speech just now. My timing, I did some measurement of your timing. Your opening, you took 1 minute, about 1 minute 15 seconds. Your body, you had 3 segments. First segment on credible, you talk about 2 minutes 9 seconds. Second one on care, 2 minutes 23 seconds. And third one on the cost is about 1 minute 63 seconds. And your conclusion was about 0.4. So it's quite a bit rush, half a minute. So in total, your timing was about 7 minutes 58 seconds. So I think your conclusion was good. But in terms of the body, you probably spent a lot of time, especially at the cost, the third item, the third segment. Credible care, that part is still okay. But the cost part, I think you took a bit of time. And as a result, you rushed a bit on the conclusion. So just take note of the timing, be aware. And overall, I found your message is very good, very inspirational. You are a good example of what you preach. And keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimeng, for your evaluation. Okay, now can we ask the timer Carlson for the timer's report? Okay, that's 1 minute, 7 seconds, right? For Jimeng. What about Mary?
Mary will be 2 minutes 50 plus.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Carlson. Okay, so that covers the evaluations for the first speaker. Now, ladies and gentlemen, based on our program, it's time for a little, well, refreshment break or toilet break or whatever break for us to catch our breath and do what we need to do. So time now is 7:45. If my clock is accurate, we should have a 5-minute break, which means that maybe by around 7:50 we can come back. Welcome back, everyone. Let's call the meeting to order again. Okay. We're now back to our prepared speech segment, and our second speaker for this segment is Queely Tan. Now, let me introduce Queely. Queely has been in the insurance industry for the last 30 years. Now, her friends call her the Lobang Queen because of her willingness to connect people to their needs. She's a friend and a good listener if you ever need a good listening ear. Her work and her interest in self-development has led her to explore different methods of meditations and healing work. Now, in terms of the timing sequence for the second speech is the same as the first, so I shall not repeat the info on that. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Queely, who will speak on the topic, how many of you know how to breathe? Breathe. Well, let's welcome Queely.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary. And good evening, presidents, and all the fellow Agora members and speakers tonight. This is my first prepared speech. What I'm going to share today is, do you know how to breathe? How many of you know how to breathe? Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. So, I would like to have a show of hand, how many of you know how to breathe? Oh, okay. That's good. Okay. So I'm going to, okay, our breath it's not just talking about how much air we are getting into our lungs, because our breath actually affects our health, our emotions, and our state of mind. So knowing how to breathe is really important for every one of us. So tonight, what I'll be covering, I'll be running a self-test for everyone so that you can check on yourself. And I'm going to share some of the informations about maximizing your breath. And thirdly, some exercise for you to bring back. First, let's run a self-check. Let's all take a few breaths. In and out. In and out. One more, in and out. So do you notice which part of your body are moving? Anyone?
Stomach, your belly,
So,
our lung, and diaphragm. Diaphragm.
That's very good. Yeah. Do you notice where did your shoulder went?
Whoops.
Did your shoulder move up when you're breathing?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, they went up.
Okay. That's very good. You start to be observing how your body moves when you actually breathe. Actually, the correct way of breathing is when our shoulders are down and relaxed and we just breathe. And the air should go around our abdominal area, and that shows that we are relaxed. But when we are breathing and our shoulders are going up, that means we are actually in a stretch mode. We are in a fright and fight mode and ready to go to war, okay, on a battle. Because of our daily life these days, we are actually constantly in this mood. So it actually affects our health and amount of the air that we actually go, that we could actually breathe in into our body. So for those people who are only breathing on your lungs, there must be something, you may want to consider bringing it down further to your abdominal area. So how do you maximize your breath? First of all, you can relax your shoulder and bring your awareness to your abdominal area. And let's try one more time. This time with this breathing. Breathe in and out. And in and out. And last round. Breathe in and out. How do you feel this time after when you bring your awareness to your abdominal area?
Feels more relaxed.
What's the difference you felt?
Feels more relaxed.
Yes. What about others?
Agree, more relaxed.
Yeah, more relaxed, yes.
Thank you. Okay, so the next step I'm going to share with you is this part about using your abdominal to guide you. So sometimes when we are so aware that we want to breathe using our abdominal, what do? We are actually consciously pushing air into our abdominal. But now let's relax our abdominal and watch the movements from our abdominal and let our abdominal guide us. And you feel the difference. Breathe in and out. In and out. And one more deep breath. And out. This time around, how do you feel? Is there any difference? Okay. So the next exercise I'm going to share with you is about this breathing exercise that you could do so to balance our daily lives with our breathing. So you breathe in 4 counts and breathe out in 4 counts. Let's do this together. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So this is an exercise that we could do on a daily basis, maybe 5 minutes a day. And the next one that you could do is especially when we are stressed, we could do exhalation just using your mouth like this to release that tensions from our body. Okay? So breath is what bring us into existence, and what we live, when we live, this is what the last one that goes with us. So having a good relationship with our breath is optimal important. Knowing your breath, working with your breath is the best way to care for ourselves. And thank you tonight. That's my sharing.
Thank you. Thank you, Queely, for your, again, very interesting presentation on breathing, how to breathe properly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have the timing report is 8 minutes, 43 seconds. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, it's now time for evaluations. And I shall invite our first evaluator, Elsa Lim, to provide feedback on Queely's speech. Elsa, please.
Congratulations on your first speech at Agora.
Thank you.
You did very well for your first speech. You were very calm and composed. You didn't need any notes. You made very good eye contact. And also you have a very sweet and soothing voice, which is perfect for your speech topic, because your speech topic is on teaching us how to breathe properly. And especially if you know how to breathe properly, you can reduce stress. So your voice is very calming and very sweet. So that's your strong point. And I think that when we hear your voice, we will naturally calm down. I'm sure your clients feel the same way as well. So here are some points for improvement. Your speech typically would work better in a live setting, because in a live setting, you actually can demonstrate physically. You can get everyone to stand up, and you can demonstrate how, you know, the diaphragm moves when you breathe, the correct way for breathing. So to adapt this speech to online Zoom, perhaps rather than do demonstration, you can spend a bit more time talking about the benefits of breathing, because most people don't know how to breathe properly. But you only touch on the benefits only a little bit, because you told us about how breathing can, there's one part of your speech about reducing stress. And you know, but most of your speech was on the demonstration part. So the demonstration part also, it didn't help that you were seated, because when you're seated, you cannot demonstrate your breathing properly, okay? But otherwise, it's a very good effort. Congratulations, and I hope you go on to your second speech at Agora. Thank you.
Thank you, Elsa. Thank you. Okay, can we have, timer's report is 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Thank you. Okay, next, I shall invite our second evaluator, Shalina Pua, to offer her feedback. Over to you, Shalina.
Thank you. Thank you, Gwen. Yes, Greedy, I congratulate you on this topic which you speaks today. I like the subject. The title is very intriguing. It says that how many of you know how to breathe? And my evaluation to you today is the opening. It took more than 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So it's about 3 minutes on your opening, 4 minutes on your body, and 1.5 minutes on your conclusion. I felt there's a lot of time taken for your drag, you know, shows that you wasn't prepared for your speech. You should move on. And I like your conclusion. I thought it would be much more powerful if you just took a conclusion as the introduction, because you tell us why we need to breathe, and that open our eyes that we need to do something for our breathing. Are we doing it correctly? And you have given some example. So maybe once you have the opening, I suggest that from the conclusion, jump to the opening, and then you emphasize that the importance of breathing, and you show us a lot of method, which is very good. Maybe you tell us that you're under stress, what kind of method you used. If you are not under stress, what kind of method you used. And I realized your PowerPoint has nothing, doesn't show any picture, which is quite difficult for us to difficult for us to digest. So it is much better to show us where is the abdominal. You see what I mean? You can take pictures from download and show us this is abdominal, and this is deep breathing. And if you want to breathe from the chest, it's shadow breathing. So we can differentiate different kinds of breathing that we can use at different time of crisis, or maybe when you need relaxation, that'd be powerful. I think your body was excellent. I think you should need more time to emphasize, because that's what we need, the methodology from you. We need to know how you do it, why we do it, and that is important. And that you have controlled the time very well. So my recommendation is, maybe you would like to have maybe 1 or 2 minutes, probably 2 minutes, to have a powerful opening to get our attention. And then you spend about 4 minutes explaining the benefit, and then the conclusion, call for action. You see what I mean? Call for action. And if you're really interested, you can always call you up, or maybe you can assign you, or maybe we have an online chat with you, how we can go about doing this interesting breathing segment. I think it's important. I enjoy your speech very much for your recommendation and all the benefits. Back to you, Gwen.
Thank you, Shalina. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are running ahead of schedule a little bit, which is very good. And because of that, we have some time on our hands. So I'd like to open the floor to a third evaluate. Okay, that's the timing report for Shalina. Thank you, Carlson. Okay, as I said, I'd like to open the floor to a third evaluator to give his or her evaluation within the time limit of 2 to 3 minutes. So now, in terms of what you should address in your evaluation, I leave it to you as a free for all, but do take into account the strengths and the weaknesses and your recommendations, 3 areas, or whatever you deem fit.
Thank you. So I'll actually just trying to follow the framework that Samantha gave. So that actually I also learned, okay, if this is the right way of giving the feedback. So for the Quilly, first of all, 3 things that I really liked: the way actually she was speaking. She was calm, composed, looking at the camera most of the time. Number 1. Number 2, she was actually speaking right from her heart, as if it was coming right from her deep inside, and that was making a connect with the audience. The third thing, she was, even though there was some technological issues, however, she did not pause, and she was actually going ahead with the flow, and that was really very good. 3 things that I felt she can actually improve further. Actually, the earlier evaluator also mentioned, she should, instead of actually sitting, she could have actually, because this is more like a yoga, which is, she's talking about the posture, diaphragm moving in. If she had actually stood on a, maybe on a kind of a yoga mat, she could have actually shown her how it's actually moving. So everybody would have been able to relate to it. Second thing, for such a large forum, like more than 50 people asking for the feedback, may not be very effective way of managing the time, because she was actually hard pressed for her time. And she was actually given some extra time. So managing the time is very important. So these are the actually few points that I had in my mind.
Thank you, Costa.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, now we can move on to the time is 1 minute 35 seconds. Thank you for that report. Thank you. All right. Our third speaker, third and last speaker for prepared speeches is Lawrence Lee. Now, Lawrence, as he claims, needs no introduction. He wants to let his speech speak for itself. And it's going to be a very powerful speech. Now, of course, again, the same time allocation and lighting signals for the timing sequence applies for this speech, so I shall not repeat. So ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Lawrence Lee to speak to us on the topic C between B and D. C between B and D.
What's life? What is life? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very important topic. C between B and D. Because we go through this, we share the same B and D. What is B? Birth. What is the death? It may be a bit morbid, but that's life. So what's life? So the life is what do you do in between B and D? B, C, D. And C, I'm going to tell you about 3 C's. Very important. It's not about the condominium, the credit card. It's about your choice, change, and communication. First thing, what's between birth and death? Is the choices you make in life. You make the right choice, you'll be very happy. If you make the wrong choice, you will be very, very sad. Choose right, you prosper. Choose wrong, life will be poverty. Choose right, you got the right partner. Choose wrongly, oh, so sorry. So what does it mean? It means we got to be careful and wise in our choice. And in fact, we are making choices all the time. But the problem is sometimes we go into automatic pilot. We don't think about our choice. We were not conscious. And worse, some people say, I got no choice. That's my job. That's my boss. There's no choice. There is no such thing as no choice. You want to know what's no choice? Be in prison and you will have no choice. Everything is set for you. Be a patient in hospital. Everything is set for you. Everything is no choice. But even if you are a patient in hospital, you have a choice. I was a patient in hospital 5 months. I can choose. What do I want to eat? Chinese, Muslim, Indian. I have choice. So very important. How do you choose? But of course, we want to make the best choice. It's not easy. What happens if we make the wrong choice? That's when the next C comes in. And the C is C for change. What happens if I make the wrong choice? Can I change? Or do I say, oh, I cannot change. That's how I am. I'm born like this. Oh, that's my wife. I can't change at all. Who says you can't change? If you say you can't change, you are stuck. You get caught. And if you can't change, you actually imprison yourself. Do you like that? Oh, I can't change. You can. Life. But sometimes you may not like it. Life happens to you. Well, I mean, I've been married, but my wife divorced me 2015. I hate that. And when she divorced me, I shared my friend. I cried. And I feel so sad. But this is the end. No. I still can make choices. No, don't get me wrong. My wife is fantastic. It's nothing to do with her. Maybe it's more about me. Maybe God say, teach, learn why I go wrong. So I have a chance to benefit another lady. Who knows? So the important thing is that a lot of things we have to change. Like even in this situation, if we're able to change and we can carry on with our Zoom meeting, besides meeting each other, we are changing. We make the choice, we change. And that's very important in life. And the point is also, yes, the C is changed. The thing is to question yourself how adaptable you are, how flexible you are. I'm adaptable. And some of you met me and you know. I got 2 legs, but now only got 1 leg because I'm an amputee. 2013. But does it mean the end? And believe it or not, I can choose and I can change. I can still continue to go dancing and even ice skating. So it's very important. Can I change? Can I adapt? And do I move on? Remember, this is the C between the B and D. And how rich your life depends on your choice, whether you can change. And the final C, communicate. You may look very good. I know we got some beautiful ladies here, handsome guys. You may be fantastic. But when you open your mouth, when you communicate, will people want to continue to communicate with you and want to talk to you? Oh, I met a beautiful lady. She looks so nice and she's gorgeous. When she opened her mouth, I shrink away. I disappear. So communication is so important. And that's why Agora is here. This is our laboratory to learn to communicate. And how can we communicate effectively? So this is important and very primary to our life, the thing between birth and death. Your choice in life, can you change how adaptable you are? And can you communicate and express yourself totally and fully so that the other party can understand you? And this is the C's in between. Think about it seriously and enjoy your choice, change, and communicate. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lawrence. That was, as you said, a powerful speech, huh? Whoops. 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Very good timing also. Great. After having heard this powerful speech, I'm sure we are brimming with powerful evaluations waiting to come out. Okay, I shall now invite my first evaluator, who is Anne-Marie. Okay, Anne-Marie, where are you? Okay.
I'm here. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mary.
Okay.
Thank you, Mary, and good evening, everyone, and especially to Lawrence Lee. I do agree with Mary. Your speech is very, very powerful. It is very purposeful, it's poignant, and it's passionate. Typical you, Lawrence Lee. You come across as always that, full of life, full of exemplary example. And to answer number one, what do you want out of your speech? I think you want to share your wisdom because it's a big question. What is life? And what did you get? What did you give us? You gave us valuable life lesson, and it's so easy to remember. CBD. Put the C between the B and the D. And of course, birth and death, we all have to go through that from the cradle to the grave. And your 3 C's are exceptional. The first is choice. We all make choices in life. Choices where to study, what to study, our career, what we want to do. And you say we have to make the right choice. Think carefully and think deeply. But you have a way out. There's a contingency plan. If we make the wrong choice, then what do? Well, we can change. And how do we change? We change with mindfulness. We change with being more, as you said, even through your divorce. I really do think you will be not even just a benefit to other women. You will be a bonus. You will be a blessing because of who you are inside and what you can share with the potential better half or other half. I won't say better half. Now, you bring us to the final C. If you really have that right woman in front of you, the right target audience, are you going to impress with good communication? And you teach us to be adaptable. You teach us to be flexible. You teach us to be audience-centered and really care about the other person. And my kudos to you. You just come out with all that color, with all that character. And really the content of your sharing today is short, sharp, succinct, and to the point. I will always remember, yes, I am responsible for my choices. And well, if I'm lucky, it's 70-30. And if 30, I make a downfall, I can still change and improve on my situation. And the final one is, yes, we need to bridge the gap with everyone through very powerful communication. And you have demonstrated it to us today, Lawrence. And I wish you all the best in everything you do. And whoever you meet, may they always be blessed by your wisdom and your generosity. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mary.
I'm not Mary Ann, I'm Gwen.
I'm so sorry, Gwen. My mistake. I'm thinking about Mary.
Anyway, thank you. Yes,
Thank you.
You chucked up 3 minutes, but that was a very powerful evaluation too. Okay, I shall now invite our second evaluator, Kapil Chola, to give the feedback. Kapil, where are you? Let's
Yes,
welcome
I'm
Kapil.
here.
Okay.
Thank you, MC, and everyone. Good evening, all Agora friends from Singapore and around the world, and also thank you, President Gee, for this meeting. Okay, to start with, let me congratulate Lawrence for a fantastic speech. Like, it was a perfect speech from my standard point of view. The opening or the topic of the subject was really great. Like, it actually kept me tied to the speech. Like, when I read this as part of the agenda, like, I couldn't understand it, but I wanted to learn more. So it was great suspense. But when you started opening up, like with the opening part, in 1 minute, you explained everything, which was good. In 1 minute, you explained everything the topic was all about. And then you moved in explaining the topic in about like 5 minutes time with all perfect ingredient or a masala of a good speech. I would kind of try to relate it to a Bollywood movie because I'm from India, so I would like to do that. That your speech had all parts of emotion as well. Like, there was emotions involving your divorce, emotions of humor as well. You produced a little bit of humor as well, and you showed like you are a amputee and still trying to overcome things. So that was great part. Like, you kept me hooked into your speech with your emotions as well. And then when you explained like the 3 C's, you explained it totally well so that I can remember it. Now, anyone can ask me what 3 C's are. I can actually narrate that, which was good part. And the conclusion was also perfect. In about 1 minute, you concluded. Only thing which I would suggest that please use less of hand movements because in this setup, your hand movements would not benefit much. In a face-to-face meeting, it will be a great exercise to do that hand movement, but not here. Thank you.
Thank you, Kapil, for your evaluation. Ladies and gentlemen, since we have the luxury of time, I'm now going to ask for a third evaluator. Vadarajan, over to you now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be generic. There is no particular criteria, so I'll give a generic feedback, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Lawrence was. I envy Lawrence. You know, on at least one point, I envy Lawrence. I don't know his age. Definitely, he's older than me, and compared to the energy that I have, he has at least 10 times that energy. So I envy Lawrence on the amount of energy he portrayed today in his speech. The way he structured his speech was so beautiful and so engrossing that he opened up with some questions, with some thought-provoking sentences, and immediately went to the 3 main points that he wanted to narrate to us. The three main points he said is choices, change, and communication. So he actually linked these three in so beautifully, so such a beautiful sequence that even if I was I was wanting to change the order, I would not be in a position to change, because that is the way he put those three things so beautifully and perfectly, is that these three things have to come in a sequence. So that's the amount of perfection, that's the amount of preparation, and that's the amount of conviction that he has shown in delivering the speech to all of us. So on the energy part, he's a big envy, and I will learn from him offline how to maintain that energy. On the content part, he was just absolutely beautiful. He gave some real life examples. I was actually looking for some real life examples, and when I was just wanting to write that he should give real life, immediately he set a real life example, and he told about his amputated situation and his divorce. So he for something to say, and he immediately at that moment he said that. So it was such an engrossing speech. And apart from the three C's that he said, I would add one C, and that is clapping. You would have noticed in the beginning of the speech, he was so exuberant and with energy, as he is always. He started clapping in a namaste mode, what we say in India, and he was trying to express himself so much. So what happens is, if the energy is very high, generally the screen then gets offline, because the screen is small and we are seeing on a smaller screen. So I would request him to reduce the body language, although he can't because he is going to used to it. But apart from that, he is just an amazing person. As a person, is just amazing. So I would love to meet him. I would love to engage with him and learn the energy that he possesses and how to deliver a great speech. Thank you. Over to the general evaluator or the evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajan. Thank you for your evaluation. Yes, yeah, it's a little bit over time. That's okay. Okay, we try to keep to our timing next time. Okay. Maybe since we have a bit more time, I will also throw in my 2 cents worth for Lauren's evaluation. I was quite awed, or quite, my breath was taken away by his speech, because I think he's got great substance. He's got a good energy, very animated, and also he overall has a good structure in terms of his speech organization. And again, he was very, very nice to listen to, and good stuff. So well done, Lawrence, and also good. Thank you for all the evaluations from our 3 evaluators. Okay, right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on. Listening to all these speeches will be a waste of time if we cannot remember what the speaker said, or if we cannot understand the presentation, or if we don't even believe the speakers. Now, the speakers themselves, in turn, cannot improve when feedback to the speakers was not understood, and when the speakers cannot even remember the feedback. So this brings us, because of this, it brings us to our final segment of the program, which is called the test. The test. Now, the purpose of the test is to discover or to determine whether we have learned something tonight. Tonight will be time well spent if, and only if, we pass the test. So do you pass the test? Well, in a few moments, you will know. And this final segment will be conducted by Christoph. Now, Christoph will earlier introduce, so I shall not waste your time repeating his profile. But so I will now hand over the airtime to Christoph. But before that, let me just share a little bit on the timing. The time allocation for this segment has been increased to 20 minutes. 20 minutes. At the 18-minute green light, 19-minute yellow light, 20th minute red light, after which 30 seconds to wrap up. So let's put our hands together and welcome Christoph to conduct this test.
Thank you, Gwen. I mean, today I'm just playing every single opportunity wherever I'm getting in. And I hope everyone in this Agora meeting, all the 50 of us are having a very, very good time. So I have a few queries and questions. Since it is not possible for me to look at the gallery view and actually do a spotlight, I would request you to shoot your answer and also tell your name so that we can acknowledge you. And there could be a follow-up question. Some of the questions could be tricky. So let us see how good listener we have been today. First question from the opening address. Normally, Agora meetings takes place at a face-to-face. Due to the circuit breaker, we are moved into the video conference. Who remember what is the number of video conferencing session today? I mean, what is today's session number? VC video Zoom session number.
10.
Very good. Who said?
Me, Carlson.
Ah, Carlson, very good. So, Carlson, the next question for you. In which year Lawrence was divorced?
2015.
2015.
2015.
2015. 2015.
Okay, good. So Carlson, so 1 plus 1 minus, so your net score 0. Shauna also mentioned one of Mr. Gia's favorite, the proverb that he used. I'll just say half part. Who can complete the next? Journey of 1,000 mile. ...
Starts with one, begins with one step.
Who is that? Kapil?
Yes.
Okay, I think I have started learning Kapil's particular way of speaking. Good, Kapil. So the next question goes to you, Kapil. Jeffrey mentioned 3 C's. Do you remember what are those 3 C's?
Credential.
Good.
Actually, my internet rebooted that time. So
No
I
problem.
Don't
Question pass?
Can I ask? Can I
Yes.
ask?
Yes, absolutely, Gwen.
Care and then cost.
Perfect. And Gwen, the next question to you. Do you remember what is the cost of per meal as per Jeffrey's formula?
$6.
Wonderful. Now tell me, who is the person who says she is very interested to take Jeffrey's coaching?
Mary, isn't it? Mary? Yeah. Mary.
Wow.
Very soon.
So 3 chocolates for you, Gwen.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna get fat soon at this rate. Can I let someone else do it?
No, for that Jeffrey is there for 24/7, 365 days a year.
Yes, better be around.
Okay, so next question. Shona also mentioned an African saying. Who remembered the complete saying? In case nobody is able to, then I will give the half part. She said there is an African proverb.
If you want to walk far, you walk yourself. Hey, want to walk? You want to go fast. You want to go fast, you go yourself. If you want to go far, you go with others.
Okay. In essence, you are right. The exact wording was, if you want walk alone, if you want to go faster, and walk together if you want to go far. And what was her recommendation, Xianglim? Which one she said? Yes, this is what we are doing.
Of course, we do together as Agora family.
Perfect. Very good. Now, next question again. How many, Samantha said, how many steps for evaluating a speaker effectively? And what are those steps? I'm interested. Steps you mentioned. Anybody remembers? Samantha's.
She mentioned about the 3 E's. The 3 E's, emotion, example, encouragement.
Plus evidence.
Yeah, yeah, evidence. Sorry, yeah.
So that was the personalized language. Apart from that, she also mentioned like words should be selected carefully, evaluate the speech, not the person, and promote self-esteem. So that was the broader framework. She also, so this question again goes to you, Daisy. She also mentioned a particular method, and she gave that method with an image. Do you remember what method name?
She mentioned about the hamburger method, the body and area of improvement, and the conclusion. Is it? Oh, sorry. The hamburger method, commendation, recommendation, question, and answer.
Wow. Terrific. You have been really a very keen listener. I think, Samantha, you must be very happy to see such a good audience today. Now, I come to the next question. This is a tricky question. Who remembers the background of Jonathan? He was possibly using a virtual background. Who remembers the background? And what was the background? It was very different.
Like a window. It looked like a window with a glass window with a cubicle kind of shape, shaped like a. Was that the one?
Who is this?
Shauna.
No, no, it is incorrect.
Jeffrey, right? You said Jeffrey?
No, I said Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan. Oh, okay. I don't think I saw Jonathan's.
He's a finance consultant.
Yes.
I think it's a
finance
bookshelf,
consultant.
No. Absolutely. Who is that?
Samantha.
Absolutely. Samantha, so you have really been effective. Your speaking have been effective, and you have been a very effective listener also, and watching also, very observant. Yes. For the time being, I felt that Jonathan is an advocate because the amount of book was there on the bookshelf. So more than listening to him, I was actually looking at his background, and it was really good. Casey came and spoke about a impromptu point. Anybody remembers on what point Casey was speaking on? Yes, Rehana.
You're asking about who?
Casey. During the impromptu session, Casey stepped in. Very good. And he was in favor or against?
He was in favor. No.
And what?
He was against. He wants you to judge the book.
Okay, and why?
So that he can have more jobs.
No, he didn't say job. He said something else. It's a third level. It's a third level. You can do it. You're very close.
More business, more...
Yeah, correct. And he also said his profession. Do you remember that? Casey?
He designs, he's a brand designer.
Absolutely. So anybody require any kind of brand solutions? Yes, Casey is the person. So he's like the book and one should go to him. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Lawrence mentioned that ice skating and dance. This is a very common thing. It's not something unique. But why is it so inspiring when Lawrence spoke about ice skating and dance? I think a lot of people.
Can I answer?
Who is this?
I'm Jeffrey. Jeffrey.
Okay, Jeffrey, Casey, hang on.
Yeah.
Let us see. Outside. Who else can?
Okay.
Jeffrey,
well,
hang on. Jeffrey, hang on. I have a very good question for you. So, anybody else? Otherwise, it will go to
I can. Kapil here.
Yes, Kapil, go ahead. Oh, Kapil, no. Kapil, hang on. You have given this feedback to Mr. Lawrence, and you are actually like pretty much inspired, so you cannot. So let's look at somebody.
Okay, got it.
Casey.
Okay. How about Jonathan? I can see Jonathan on the spotlight. Jonathan, you want to answer?
Lawrence mentioned that he's doing this with one leg.
Absolutely. He's an amputee, and this is the how he has been. Jonathan, the next follow-up question for you. Do you remember for how many months Lawrence was hospitalized?
5.
Wow, that's terrific. And what was the main essence of Lawrence's message today?
We can take control between our birth and our death because there were 3 C's that he spoke about. So change, communication, and choice. So don't stay in the mud, but get out of the mud and do something else.
Very good. So there is a choice. Perfect. So I come to now Jeffrey. Jeffrey, there are 2 people who gave you feedback, out of which Mary gave you 2 specific feedback. Can you please tell us what are those feedback?
Okay, Mary mentioned to me that I use Chinese doctors, put some Asian faces to the doctor's panel.
Very good.
That I showed. I remember that. And what else? What did she say? I missed one part.
Yes.
Yeah, I missed one part. I don't remember it was a Chinese doctor. I put some Asian
Okay,
faces.
anybody wants to help Jeffrey? The second feedback, other than Mary.
Very soon we'll sign up with you.
Sorry, can you
No,
repeat,
it's
please?
a feedback. Some feedback, yeah.
Gwen,
Anyone
Gwen
else?
you put up a hand, right?
No, I did not. I did
Yes.
not.
Oh, no.
Yes, Jeffrey. Second
Yeah.
feedback was on your hand movement. She
Oh,
gave
yeah.
you some feedback
Yes.
on the hand movement.
A bit more hand movement. Yeah. Yeah, as compared to Lawrence, do less hand movement.
So Jeffrey, now I have one feedback for you, even though it was not part of the scope. Today, Mr. Gyat sent me a text saying that Kaustav, you start taking note because you are going to the test master. And these are the notes I'm taking. So at least I can actually request or suggest to all the speakers when someone is giving the evaluation, the feedback, we can definitely write down in a small 2x2 matrix what are the positive and what are the areas of improvement so that we can actually learn and move on. So this is a small suggestion. Who remembers what was the topic of Kuili Tan? People who are for the Agora office bearer, please do not attempt this question because you have the schedule in front of you.
I can answer.
Who is that?
Casey,
Kapil.
Kapil, yeah, go ahead, please.
How to breathe, or do you know how to breathe?
Okay, good. And okay, now I have to ask this to Kuili Tan. Are you there? Kuili, can anyone help me to
Yes.
spotlight her? Yeah. So Elsa gave you some feedback. Do you remember what was the positive feedback given to you and what are the areas of improvement she highlighted?
Sorry, which one? Who you're referring to? That
Elsa gave you some good feedback after your speech. Question is, what
Okay.
all the feedback she gave you?
Elsa was the first one, right? Sorry. Yeah. She told me that I should put my conclusion to be my first speech, opening speech instead.
It was good. I think she also mentioned that the kind of exercise that you are doing, it will be better in a live
it
setting.
would be good to be able to show it out instead of sitting down.
Absolutely. It will be on a live setting, it might be even better. You remember this?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't have a Wi-Fi earpiece, so I was not able to do it.
No problem. So this question goes to Mary Tan. Do you remember how do we maximize breath as Elsa, as Kuili Tan said?
Take a deep breath and you try it for 4 times.
Yeah, she was counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. I picked on you specifically because you are one of the office bearers. So nothing. Okay. I think I have actually just reached my 15 minutes, even though it's a 10-20 minutes. I forego 5 minutes so that everyone has 5 minutes earlier to leave. So with this, I hand over this session to Sean Tay for the announcements. Thank you very much for listening to me with all my, mother tongue accent and the very different way of pronunciation. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Okay, all right. A very good evening to everyone. All right. Thank you, KD. All right, for passing it over to me for announcements. All right. So for today's session, all right. So before we end the session for tonight, okay, I would like to share with you guys. Okay, there's this thing called the Agora Note. All right. Anybody here? Anybody here do not know what Agora Note is? Anybody? Okay, yeah, I saw some waving hands. All right, so Agora Note is an initiative, okay, from Agora Speakers Singapore. All right, so what does this do is to achieve 3 objectives. All right, number 1 is to empower. Okay, so number 1 is to empower the speaker. Number 2 is to enhance the speaker's message. All right, then number 3, okay, is to assist, okay, to give the speakers here, okay, help, all right, to bring your message, okay, or your business, your marketing forward, all right, by using our platform to spread it over to our members in our Facebook page. All right, so some will ask, okay, what is so useful, about Agora Note? All right, from here, I'll just need to ask you guys 2 questions. Number 1, is doing business in this point of time easy or difficult? Number 2, if there is an opportunity, all right, just by writing, and you're able to spread your business, your presence, your visibility to more than 3,000 members, all right, in Agora Singapore and worldwide, just by doing a note. Will it be good for you? All right, so what happens is that for speakers tonight, all right, whoever wishes, okay, to participate, to take part in this journey with us, all right, to spread your message, spread your visibility to all the members in Agora Singapore and international, do let me know. Okay, we will help you to go through the process on how to put your speech into a written form. That's number 1. Number 2, okay, those who wish to be part of this journey in the next session onwards, all right, this initiative, okay, is only open for prepared speech speaker. All right, so whoever in the future wishes to be part of this journey, join us as a prepared speech speaker. All right, then I'll help you through, my team and I will help you through, okay, this journey to help you bring your message forward to the world. All right, so without further ado, I shall pass this back to the MC. Oh, sorry, there's a second announcement speaker, Lin Wong. Okay, those who are interested, let me know. All right, so now Lin, to you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. This is Lin. I'm from Agora. I'm not really an active member, but has been participating in the session. Okay, today I would like to make a short announcement. For those who doesn't know me, actually for my full-time job, I'm actually working in the finance and controlling role in a Japanese MNC and have been working for the past 20 over years. So, but beside work, I'm actually a volunteer. I'm a volunteer with the grassroots, and also volunteers in school, as well as volunteer in my university alumni. So basically, I would like to share with you is that because of the COVID-19 situation right now, a lot of events that are organized by all the committees that are in have to be done online. So I'm actually organizing some online planning for my committees, example, online talks, online workshops. So basically, I would like to make this opportunity to introduce myself and to welcome speakers who are professionals in your profession and is interested to do some pro bonos or complimentary sharing to like my committee. Could be involving residents, involving in the Women's Executive Committee, because currently I'm the chairperson there as well. So And I'm organizing activities like for children, for women, for the residents. So if you are interested to do this kind of online workshop, please feel free to look out for me. And you can find my telephone number in the chat group, or you can contact me, but I think you have to read it from the other angle. So my contact number is 8300-8608, where we can discuss in more detail. So thank you very much. That's my sharing. Thank you.
Thanks, Lynn.
Okay. Hi. Okay. Thank you, Sean and Lynn, for your announcements. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our meeting will now culminate in a closing address, which will be, of course, something that we'll have been looking forward to, and it'll be delivered by Rehanna Abdullah. Allow me to introduce Rehanna. Rehanna is an intervention coach. Now, she intervenes by helping individuals to let go of limiting beliefs and bringing positive mindset changes that can enable them to create breakthroughs in their lives, in their health, in their career, relationships, and even finances. Now, her specialty is mindset transformation and emotional healing. For the past 8 years, she has been doing her intervention work as a life skills trainer in local MOE, primary and secondary schools. Now, her students have benefited from her training in areas such as leadership, social emotional programming, goal setting, future planning, conflict management, public speaking, speech and drama, debating, and many others. She has impacted approximately 6,000 students to date from various schools such as ACS, Chongqing High School, Taonan Primary School, just to name a few. For the past 2 years, she has progressed to transforming the lives of professionals after having gone through her own mindset transformation journey to become the success that she is today. Rehanna considers herself a social progressivist who brings about positive changes to improve the lives of herself and others. Now, her authentic speaking style and personality are what makes her the sparkling diamond that she is today. Okay, Rehanna basically will have 15 minutes to do her closing speech, and here are the timing signals. 5 minutes, green light, 10 minutes, yellow light, 15 minutes, red light, and after that, she has to wrap up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and welcome Rehanna to deliver the closing address.
Wow, wow, wow. Are you guys still breathing? I am breathless. I need to get Queenie to teach me how to breathe properly. Amazing speakers, amazing team, amazing work. That's all I can say for this Agora meeting. Now, breath is the first and the last. The first when you come into this world, and the last when you leave this world. So too at Agora, we have the first and the last. I am, of course, the closing. We had the opening done, and it was a brilliant opening by Shauna. I would say very heartfelt, very loving, very warm. She brought us through the journey, through Agora that she experienced, and what a warm journey it was. Thank you, Shauna, for being so sincere about what you have experienced at Agora. But having breathed not so well, I think I may need to get Jeffrey's help. I have this spare tire here, really affects my breathing quite a lot. I may need to contact him sometime later. He gave an amazing, amazing speech, which makes us so easy. He makes it so easy for us to be able to lose weight, to be able to commit to losing weight, and to be able to take that action. And I am really inspired to want to take his program. So another one on Jeffrey's hat to kudos to you, Jeffrey. So you got another customer in your from your speech. I will try to use Samantha's burger method to wrap up this whole meeting. So before our meeting, it is important to generate energy and engage the audience. And Casey did a wonderful job about it. And to think about it, he actually stepped up to the plate when Sean had some technical difficulties entering our meeting room. So this team, I would say, is so amazing that everyone just steps up voluntarily to take up any role and every role that is given to them, and even roles that are not given to them. And speaking of that, I am really amazed with Costa. I cannot be more impressed with him at all. He has chosen every week to take on a new task, and this week he has taken up 4 roles altogether. Why 4? He was the etiquette rules director. He was the timekeeping rules director. He was the test master. On top of that, he gave his evaluations as well. In between, volunteering to give evaluation. I mean, really, please give him a warm, warm hand. I really, really have hats off to you, sir. Now, speaking of multitasking, really, he exemplifies it. Now, what about making the right choice and having the right company and choosing the right avenue for us to grow? I think Agora does provide all that for us. In our impromptu speech, we got to learn a lot today. Is happiness having all the Ferrari, the Porsche, or whatever, the big house, the bungalow? Or is it something more intricate and more delicate that Lawrence explained to us? And are we wanting to be Batman or Superman or Spider-Man or Wonder Woman or whatever we want to be? Everyone has a superhero in each one of us. But each superhero is no better than the other because we are better together, as Albert has said. Why are we here all together today? It's an act of fate. We made a choice to come here. Yes, as Lauren said, we always have a choice. But everything happens for a reason. Selena said that there's new technology we are learning. It's all about the mindset. And we all need to change that mindset to have a positive outlook in our life. And everything does happen for a reason. Are we judging each other? Are we baking biasness? Or are we giving each other room to grow? I know Casey did say about being judgmental, but there's reasons for that. There's some ways, some places where we need to be judgmental. We need to be careful about what we are doing. But we need to give each other room to grow, as what Agora does. We are not judging here. We can make mistakes here. This is our playground and this is our laboratory. So we can grow from here. And everyone has an opportunity, equal opportunity to grow in this platform. And Agora provides that so beautifully. And I'm so impressed with that. So let's give Agora a big round of applause. Thank you, everyone. So, Costa says, let's not be judgmental. Yes, we should not be judgmental. And we should give our evaluations fairly, justly, kindly, compassionately, as Samantha said. We have to be kind. We have to build people up and help them to grow and groom them to be leaders, to be speakers, because everyone has a message to bring out there. Don't you agree? Do you all agree? Yes, we all have a message and we all want to impact the world, just as everyone said. But we cannot take the action if it's just a wish, as Jeffrey said. Wishing and wishing and wishing, we cannot do that. But we have to take the actions. And when we take the actions, we can see the results. We do not want to be mediocre, as Jonathan said. We need to rethink and relearn and grow in every day and every environment. And Randy also said, not to judge people, but give them respect. Help them to speak their truth. And we will be a better place if we judge less others. So, are you guys still breathing? I'm running out of breath. Let me take 2 more breaths, if you will allow me. And you can take them with me too. We need to communicate better. And Gwen did a fine job when she introduced and how she conducted the MC. It was fabulous, succinct, clear, distinct, whatever you can call, impeccable. And I'm so impressed by what she has done. Communicate. Let's communicate better. Let's be kinder. Let's make everything better. I have the fantastic team to tell everyone. This team is made up of all the front end, the speakers, the evaluators, the beautiful speeches, the impromptu speaking. I have learned so much today from everyone, and I have taken down notes. Amazing. I'm so inspired by every single one who has presented or not presented, who has supported and who had given their clapping, their thumbs up, their affirmation of everyone's doing what they are doing. But I would like to make a special thank you to those in the back end, the one that makes this all happen. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Gay. Without him, this would never be even possible. Second person I'd like to thank is Casey. I really would like to, first of all, give a big clap to Mr. Gay. Let's give him a big clap. Secondly, I want to give a big thank you to Casey, because Casey, he appears cool and calm and superb on camera, but do you know how much work that he put into this meeting to get this meeting going? Oh my God, I cannot tell you. I have stressed him out many times. So I have to really thank him for that. So please give a warm welcome to, warm thank you to Casey for having this. And another person I would really like to thank is Willie Lowe, because he really is in the back end. You hardly get to see his face. He really hardly appears in front, but he is always doing what we can so that it's possible for us to appear and be here. Thank you, Willie. Let's give him a big round of applause as well. Awesome, Willie. All right. Now, also Jimmy for organizing all our stuff. That goes into the video production and everything. He's also one of the people that we hardly recognize or we hardly notice, but he's always there supporting us. Thank you, Jimmy! And I would also love to thank Carlson, also in the background, always making sure we are on time, up to time, and on time. And I have 10 minutes and 42 seconds now. He's so prompt in showing me the time. So I'm very thankful. Let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you, Carlson. And I would like to thank the final people in this whole event, and that is the community. The beautiful people from all over the world who support this program, who encourage it, and who are here. Even if you're not here week after week, but you are here whenever you can. And you inspire us to do better, to become better, and we are the best Agorians that you can find anywhere. And I would like to give everyone my biggest kisses and thank you. Let's give everyone a round of applause from all over the world. Everyone, you can unmute yourself and then just give a cheer so I can hear that you can hear me.
Yam sing.
So, in conclusion, I would like to say that let's journey on together. Let's be each other's support. Let's be each other's friend. As Mr. Gay always says, friends helping friends to succeed. And I would like to end with Shauna's statement. If you want to go far, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, let's go together. And I think we all want to go far. But eventually you will realize that we will end up being fast as well because we are supporting each other and growing together. See you at the next Agora meeting. Welcome and good night. Thank you so much.
Let us all clap for Rihanna. Rihanna, thank you. Wonderful speech, Rihanna. Well done.
Yes, I fully agree with Casey, and I'm sure everyone agrees that Rohana has given us a super stellar, high energy, awesome closing address, which is inspiring and really, which is uplifting to say the least. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Rehana, excuse me, for that speech again. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, we have completed all items of business for today, actually. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for contributing to this really fun-packed learning experience, which is beautifully orchestrated by all the team members here, from Casey to Carlson to Kostov to Sean to many more. If I miss out your names, please pardon me, okay? So thank you so much for all that. Now, the next club meeting, just a reminder, is on Thursday, 4th of June. So those who wish to speak or to take on appointments, please inform Ban Peng or Casey early. So we've reached that moment now where you can leave now. If you need to leave, you can lock up now.